Welcome to this week's Kram Rams. I'm Paul Bennett.
And I'm Jackson Mahar.
In sports this week, the girls' volleyball team swept Found Fork Carson on Tuesday night, 3-0.
Girls softball also beat Doherty in a tight game on Tuesday as well, beating them 13-11.
That leads directly into our first story today, as we take a look at our girls' softball team.
This year, the team and coaches have faced some unique challenges. Karen went in depth to find out more.
The softball varsity team and coach went to depth about how the practices with both the JV and varsity has been affecting them and how they feel about it.
So being in charge of 27 girls on your own is a little difficult, but I'm very grateful. Our girls have definitely stepped up a lot. Our varsity girls will help the JV girls. It's really nice to see everyone come together, and it's a lot of work, but I mean, it's worth it in the end if they can improve and if they have fun.
I think it helps build partnership with all teams because we kind of have the saying that we're a family despite being on separate teams like varsity JV. So practicing together kind of implements the fact that we're a family and we all work together. And even though we're on separate teams, we're still part of the same program.
It helps JV learn a lot, and because they're not as experienced as varsity, and I feel like we have more bonding.
Yeah, bringing the squads together is a lot of fun. We always warm up together. We'll try to keep it together just because we are one team, one program. And then when we kind of, refine more skills or specific ones, we'll separate them a little bit. But bringing them together is fun, and I think the girls really enjoy it too. So it's great to have them come together.
The team expressed how the season is going and how far they are expecting to go. They shared it with Kram.
No, just because, a lot of our players are hurt right now, which is a bummer, and I guess we're just outbested.
We'll definitely get through it, and win or lose, we're having fun.
The season's been going good. I think we have a better record than we had last year, and I think together we just work together better as a team because I think we know each other a bit more. So I think we've passed kind of the awkward stage with each other, and now we're kind of more of just closer together.
Ultimately, that is our goal, but we really focus on the athletes' development and see how they can get better. Hopefully, we can win some games along that process, but ultimately, we want the girls to have fun.
Hopefully we see you at a game, Rams. This has been Paul Bennett signing off for Kram.
Go support the softball team at their last home game of the season next Tuesday, October 4th at 3:30 p.m. against Vista Ridge.
One of the many changes at Rampart this year is our new head principal, Mrs. Sanders.
Mrs. Sanders was a teacher here at Rampart, then our assistant principal, and now our head principal. Here's your chance to get to know her better.
When talking about the new changes this school year, it is impossible to miss the arguably biggest one, a new principal. After being the vice principal last year and a teacher for many years before, Mrs. Sanders has stepped up to run our school. We asked our students and staff how they feel about this change and why Ms. Sanders was best suited for the job.
Ms. Sanders had this wonderful confidence that was lacking in a lot of the other candidates, and she already knows our school and knows our culture. It's a really special thing what we have going on at Rampart, and we didn't want to lose that.
She listens really well, and she really has our best interest in mind, not just the students but the teachers as well.
And keeping our community the best it can be. Mrs. Sanders has already worked with our staff for many years.
I love working with Ms. Sanders. She is just the right amount of professional and the right amount of laid back, and I enjoy every interaction that I have with her.
She's a great principal for our school. She wants to be involved in the community. She supports what I do in athletics. That's the chief part of my job as athletic director.
I just think she's a Ram, and I think that's what we want and what we need, and so I'm really excited for this year.
Most of Rampart's students knew Mrs. Sanders as the vice principal from last year. We asked some of them what their first impression was of her.
My first impression of Miss Sanders was, I remember walking in on the first day and she was greeting everyone, so I thought she was very nice, but at the same time, she knew what she was doing. She was very on top of everything, and she wouldn't let anybody slack off if they were doing something wrong.
I thought she was mean. I'm not gonna lie. Looking at her, I thought she was mean, but getting to know her and stuff, she's actually the sweetest person.
She is very positive, and she talks to a lot of different people every day.
Mrs. Sanders has put a lot of emphasis on making sure that every student who walks into Rampart feels like they belong there.
My favorite thing about Miss Sanders is probably her character. I know that she cares a lot about the kids at this school, and she'll do her best to kind of
make everybody feel welcomed, and I really appreciate that about her.
She's trying to make a positive change around the school and make sure that everybody is welcomed and not just like certain people.
Moving from the vice principal position to principal of Rampart High School is a significant leap, but Mrs. Sanders was ready to jump in.
I applied for this position just because I love Rampart. I have worked here for a number of years and want an opportunity to lead a building that I care a lot about.
Before becoming vice principal, Mrs. Sanders taught in District 49 out of middle school, but ended up coming back to Rampart.
Although middle school is fantastic, I love high school culture and love the high school age and the kids and the teachers, and was really missing that. So I knew if I was going to go back to high school, I wanted it to be at Rampart again.
On a last note, we were interested in hearing what Mrs. Sanders is most looking forward to this year.
I am looking forward to all of it. I love going to events, seeing kids do things in and out of the classroom that they're passionate about and really love and excel and succeed. I love, saying hi to kids in the hall, so I look forward to that every day. They fill my bucket.
Join us Rams in welcoming our new principal. This has been Fiona Wachter reporting for Kram.
Make sure to welcome Miss Sanders and say hi to her if you see her.
Our principal isn't the only change around our community. The Rampart Regiment Marching Band is starting competition season and has gone through some changes.
Marching Band has now gone co-curricular this year.
Instead of having only after-school practices, they now have a class for the marching band.
The band is always seeking to improve. This year, they elected to go co-curricular.
This will be my 4th year part of the Rampart Regiment. I joined as an 8th grader.
I've been in marching band for 4 years now. I was just really into band in middle school, and I ended up actually doing it in 8th grade. So I just really wanted to do marching band, and it's been like that ever since.
Students and directors, both new and old, had varying opinions on the new co-curricular schedule.
So we wanted to open up more opportunities for our kids to be able to participate in more band things. So we have a lot of kids who do just a ton of other extracurricular activities that they're participating in. And so if we can do more rehearsal during the school day, then we can alleviate those kids to have a little bit more freedom with their after-school responsibilities.
I think we have less rehearsal time, but the rehearsal time we do have is a lot more focused. I think that it's good that sometimes we have marching band every single day, so that kind of helps us stay up to date on everything we've learned.
I think that it is a good system because we get a lot more work done and we get more practice without having to stay after for more days.
One of our band directors elected to give us some insight into the theme of the show this year and explained why they picked it.
This year's show is called New Directions. Obviously, we chose last year to go in a new direction by offering it as a co-curricular instead of a purely extracurricular. So that kind of tied in a little bit, but it wasn't our main focus. It's really just more, what can we do? How can we think? How can we act in new ways, in different ways that benefit us? And there are always some things that we'll do the same way, and that doesn't mean that they were poorly performing before or didn't work before, but open our minds to new possibilities, not just with this show, but with how we approach life in general.
This has been Lance Poley, signing out.
So if you are interested, sign up for that class next year.
Study hall classes have seen some format changes recently, going from large groups in the Tech Wing auditorium to smaller class sizes in normal classrooms.
Kram sat down with students and teachers to see how they feel about the changes.
One of the many changes made to Rampart this year is the format of study hall. Now we're in smaller classrooms spread out across the school instead of being in one large Tech Wing auditorium. We asked students and teachers how they felt about the change.
I think it's a good change. I didn't really like it in the Tech Wing. There was a lot of people there, and being in a confined space is more fun, and I get to study easier. You can study, you can sleep, it's more relaxed in a smaller space than it was in the auditorium.
I feel like being in a smaller study hall, there's more opportunities to get one-on-one help from your teacher.
The pros are you're not really crowded, and if you don't like a lot of people, you don't have to sit by a lot of people. And the cons about it is there could be loud tables, there could be people that you don't like and you have to sit by.
I feel like the pros are there's not as many kids to distract you, but at the same time the cons are if you don't have someone that's in your group group projects, you have to coordinate outside of class to do your project.
I think the study hall is working well. It allows for a smaller, cozier atmosphere. The students, if they do need to work together, can get together easier than in the tech wing.
Well, a smaller classroom size enables teachers to be more consistent with their students, build better relationships with them, which in turn should mean that they're hopefully getting more done during study hall and getting better grades.
This has been Jackson Mahar signing off for Kram.
Make sure to take advantage of these small group study halls to get your work taken care of, Rams.
Our seniors enjoyed a key senior tradition last Friday.
The senior celebration is an important memory for most seniors.
Kram was there to see how it went.
Field Day was a day many looked forward to in elementary school, but it's been quite a while since the last time we got to experience one. Fortunately for the seniors, on September 23rd, the long wait was finally over as they got to be kids once again during their senior celebration. And it is safe to say that they had an amazing time.
I really liked the senior celebration because we were able to go out and just get a break from the stress of school, be able to act like kids again and hang out with our friends. It's just not something we get to do that often.
I like the senior celebration because it was a real nice way to kind of just see all my senior friends and kind of understand who I'm going to be graduating with, spend some time with them and kind of, bond with them for a little bit, knowing that we don't have a lot of time anyways, especially with school.
Senior celebration is a day many of our seniors value, but the event is also important to the staff that puts it all together.
It's meaningful for the staff because, again, we get to hang out with students in a way that's a little bit different than in the classroom, and so we can provide games and food, and it's just a good way to connect with students and get to know seniors in a different way, and it's fun.
The event is not just an excuse to have fun, as our seniors believe that the celebration is meaningful for the community.
It's important because it creates more opportunities to act like a family. Like, we've already known each other for so long, but it just gives us more time to hang out and strengthen those bonds.
I think it's fun to bring each other together because as we're leaving high school, we might lose our way. So always keep those friends that we created.
Finally, the seniors decided to give some words of encouragement to their fellow graduating class.
It is going to be stressful. We're going to get through it. It's going to be great.
Just persevere, you know what I'm saying? Never give up.
We've all got it. I would say to the seniors, just keep staying strong and keep your academics up. We're all working through it together, so we gotta support each other, and if you need any help, to reach out to your supports, teachers and friends who can help you out.
My advice for my fellow seniors is just to keep working hard. You're literally right there, 4 more months and you're out. You don't have to deal with no drama, no more trouble. You can just be on your own. You can live how you want.
We hope all the seniors had fun at the senior celebration, and we wish them the best on what might be one of the most important years of their lives. This has been Adon Andrade reporting for Kram.
Congrats to all my fellow seniors.
We end Kram this week with another high school tradition.
We found out the homecoming theme on Tuesday, written in the stars. Now, we're taking a moment to announce this year's homecoming court. Let's start with the freshmen.
Our freshman court is Rowan Hulls and Tristan Percival.
Our sophomore court is Connor Marco and Charlotte Hollinger.
Our junior court is Lucian Ensel and Parthena Mathod.
And finally, our senior court is Ethan Hardage, Leah Clem, Cole Young, Ciara Pifereiro, Evan Smith, and Taylor Clark.
Congrats to all our homecoming court. Voting for our senior king and queen starts today.
That's all we have for this week's K-Ram. Make sure to dress up for all the Spirit Days next week. This has been Paul Bennett.
And I'm Jackson Mahar, signing off for K-Ram.
Lines for a whole new world, bro.
I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid. A new fantastic point of view.
Who am I supposed to come in?
No one to tell us no, or where to go. All the world. A thousand ways I never knew.